What's the darkest truth you ever found out about your family? When I was 12, I was living at my grandparents' house during summer vacation, and when I went home I couldn't find my mother anywhere. I asked Dad about it, and he broke down and admitted that my mother had left us high and dry. She had an affair with a guy from work and decided to elope with him. I was super confused since she was the type of mom who spent every second with her son when my dad wasn't at home. But I believed what my dad was telling me, and cried for 3 days straight. I kept asking for my mother, dialing her number over and over again. Eventually, my sorrow turned into rage, and I started resenting her for doing this to us. My dad was never home to take care of me. He would go straight to the bar after work, and every week I had at least 3 nights where I went to sleep still hungry. I decided to blame my mother for all of this and went into her room to destroy stuff. There was just one problem. Soon after this happened, my grandparents cut my dad off and would only talk to me. If I called them, they made sure I wasn't with my dad before continuing the conversation. This felt weird since they were his parents, but I was a kid and didn't want to investigate too much, especially since I was too busy hating on my mother. When I turned 16, my grandparents contacted me out of the blue one day and asked me to visit them without informing my dad. They had even booked a train ticket for me, and told me just trust them. I did end up going, and when I got there, I got the shock of my life. It was my mother who opened the door, and she instantly latched onto me like I was going to disappear if she let go. I started off angry, and pushed her away while calling her names for abandoning me and Dad. But then I looked at her face that was full of tears, and all my anger melted away. I hugged her back, and as she explained everything, I went into shock. Turns out, that summer when I was 12, my dad had taken my mother to Singapore on a vacation. Once they got to the hotel, my dad stole all the luggage, every single penny, and even my mother's purse before leaving her there. He did this because he never liked how my mother made more money than him. And every time someone mentioned that, it hurt his ego. Go. My mom searched for him in a foreign country for days before the police told her he was spotted leaving the country from the airport. She had no money, no cell phone, and not even a passport. It had taken her 3 years before the embassy finally returned her to our country, and the first thing she did was come to my grandparents' house, who knew everything. In case you're curious, my dad's rotting in jail while I live happily with my mother.